On this fifth Sunday of Ordinary Time 2022, the Gospel passage summarizes the message of this Sunday formulated as, "For a catch, quit the borderline." Why did Jesus quit the seashore of Lake Gennesaret? Why did Peter quit the seashore for a catch of fish? Today, which borderline is Christ calling you to quit so as to have a great catch of peace, love, and unity in your life? Lastly, to be considered in this homily is the three messages that is to quit the borderline, miraculous catch of fish, and a call to follow Christ. On this Sunday, the Gospel passage has two scenes. One, the miraculous catch of fish. Second, the call of the first disciples. To start with, Jesus, according to the Gospel passage of today, is at the seashore of Lake Gennesaret. Indeed, this sets the context in this passage. However, normally the seashore is the borderline between the sea and the land. In a more precise way, Jesus moved a little bit far from the seashore using the boat that belonged to Simon, hence quitting the seashore. According to many experts, the boat represents the church in this context. Therefore, Christ's presence in the church. Furthermore, as I mentioned at the beginning, there are three messages from today's liturgical readings, namely, to quit the borderline, second, miraculous catch of fish, and third, a call to follow Christ. First and foremost, to quit the borderline or seashore. Jesus had to quit the seashore using a boat so as to teach the crowd that was present. Again, Peter and his companions were invited to quit the seashore and advance in the deep water to fish. Here we can see two borderlines. One is physical and another one is non-physical that Christ is inviting us to cross. For example, are we ready to quit the borderline of prejudgment and stereotype for us to catch blessings, grace, and peace of God? Second, miraculous catch of fish. Simon, James, and John had tried to fish the whole night and they caught nothing. No sooner had they started washing their nets than Jesus called them to cast out their nets in deep water. In fact, it was difficult for them because they had tried to fish the whole night, and according to their experience of fishing, it would be hard, if not impossible, to fish during the day. Here, we see Jesus who comes to their aid at an appropriate moment. What is it that you have given up doing? Maybe you are washing your net because nothing seems to work in your life. Christ is reminding you to advance in the deep water for a catch. Of course, quit the non-physical borderline such as bad mentality and move to deep water for a catch in this life. A story is told of the villagers who were threatened, suffered, and some died because of cholera. The village elder, together with his council, suspected the cause to be the borehole water. Indeed, they opened the well and saw some shiny, oily-like layer on top of water. Afterwards, they started to remove the top layer of some water, of which they did successfully. However, some villagers were more hospitalized and even more death. After weeks of reflections, they reopened the well and found the same layer of shiny oily water on top. It is at that moment that one villager decided to enter into the well and see where the oil is coming from. To his surprise, deep down the water, he found a dead dog underneath and removed it. Is your relationship in a family at the seashore? Quit that borderline, move into the deep water to find a solution. But which deep water is Christ inviting you to cast your net? Maybe cast your memory net into the deep past. There you will find good things in your life. In fact, you will see more good reasons to thank God for. What is making your life to have symptoms of cholera? Of course, remove the rotten dog in your marriage life and in your life for you to have a great catch of good and happy life. On the same note, our Holy Father Augustine says, do not look outside, return to yourself. In our interior, the truth resides. How many times do you do this introspection? Are you in touch with your interior life? In the world in which we live, we are so near to each other through technology, but far away from oneself. For example, one may be asked a mathematical question. The high probability is that he will look for a calculator to do that. Let us get in touch with oneself through meditation and contemplation, because Christ is the master of interior life. The last message is a call to follow Christ. In the first reading, Isaiah is called to be a prophet. Again, Paul was called to follow Christ as an apostle. And in the gospel passage, Peter, James, and John were called to follow Christ. God invites us to love and serve Him despite our weaknesses. In fact, God calls the imperfect so that He may perfect them. Peter and his companions left everything and followed Christ. Have we left everything and followed Christ, or we have left Christ and followed everything? To conclude, let us allow Christ to come into our boat in life so as to quit both physical and non-physical borderlines, so as to have a great catch of peace, love, unity, and above all become fishers of men and women. Amen. Have a blessed Sunday.